This is Auntie, and I am here to do a review on 90 Day Fiancé, Season 5, Episode 18, Crossing the Line. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you so much for joining the family. And to all of my nieces and nephews, thank you for being here and for lending your support. We're going to go ahead on and get into this review of what we just saw with these crazy mofos on 90 Day Fiancé. I'm a little bit stunned, a little bit shocked about what I just saw. But I'm going to save it for the last, since that's the way TLC wants me to do it. But this episode titled Crossing the Line is absolutely and totally accurate. And I called it. Oh yes, I did. See, Molly girl, your girls, you're in danger like I thought. Stranger danger. He crossed the line, crossing. Say he will, say he won't. We start off this episode with our girl Elizabeth and Andrei. She is sitting in a cafe waiting for him to come out to tell her the results of whether or not he got his visa. She says that she's on edge about it. I would be too. So he comes out, he walks into the cafe, he has no expression on his face. She says, what's happened? She's sitting there in anticipation. Her heart is about to jump out of her chest, and he tells her that he has the K1 visa. She is absolutely elated because she realizes that she's got this bad boy. Elizabeth, I don't think you know what you've gotten yourself into, boo. Excuse me. Auntie is not feeling that great tonight, so that's why I'm not coming out live. I will be out live tomorrow at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But anyway, Elizabeth is elated, and now she has to deal with the family. She didn't think about all of that when she was sitting up there throwing her family under the bus. Andrei tells her very politely that he is not worried about her family. He's not doing this for her family. He's doing this for the two of them so that they can build a family. Elizabeth didn't like that answer. But guess what, boo? You put it out there. You the one that tore your family down. So now you're going to have to deal with exactly what's coming to you. Anyway, the next person that we see is Louise and Molly. She looks like she's sitting on the sofa going over her business stuff for the day. And Olivia is, somewhere chilling, and he decides that, he wants to have a conversation with Olivia. See, he is about to propose to Molly. Prior to him coming from the DR, he had went to a jeweler and purchased a ring for her. He said that when he asked him how much the ring was, he was like, man, look, I'm just happy you going to the United States. Do it for the vine. Okay, so basically, he tells Olivia, I want to talk to you, Olivia, and Olivia's like, okay. She's apprehensive. She puts him on a, straight up ignore. But then she's like, okay, let me go and see what he got to say. I'm sure that the producers pushed that on her. I'm starting to see TLC. But anyway, they go outside in the backyard. He talks about, wanting to propose to Molly, and he basically wants them to be in with it. I noticed he didn't say nothing to her about how to spell papa, how to spell daddy. I see he didn't do any of that crap with Olivia. And so Olivia was like, look, my mother has been wanting to be married to somebody for a long time now. And you know, she just wants to have this white picket fence. She wants to have the husband and the kids. And if that's what's going to make my mother happy, then you know what? I'm going to try to go head on and march to the beat of your drum. He says, you know, she says, why don't you wait? Why you have to rush it? Can you just wait a little bit? My sister and I are the most important things to my mother. And so I don't want you to jump out there. Give us an opportunity to get to know you. I mean, hell, you already moved into the house and everything. And we just want an opportunity to try to get to know you. And he's like, I hear what you're saying and everything. But at the end of the day, I ain't come here for you. I came here for Molly. I may be new to you, but I ain't new to Molly. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So after a couple of drinks and a couple of nights romping in the sack, you think that you know Molly and you think that Molly knows you? Okay, whatever. So you know what my whole thing was, why even ask the girl? Excuse me. Why even ask the girl if you didn't care about what she said? What was that all about? Was that for TLC as well? Did TLC tell you to do that? Okay, you know what? Whatever. So maybe the jeweler gave you the ring because they got a little bit of airtime or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You scratch my back, I scratch yours. I don't like it. I don't like any of this. But you know what? It is what it is. Olivia is at least trying to work it out with him. But, you know, Louise, he a little arrogant. He a little arrogant. He a little cocky. See, because he knows, you know, a desperate woman when he sees one. And that's what Molly is basically turning out to be, some desperate woman. Anyway, the next person we see is David. David is, you know, happy. He's got his little, you know, tie bride. And so, you know, life is good for him. He decides that he wants to, you know, talk to his daughter about it. You know, out of all of his kids, he says that Ashley is the most outspoken and everything. And so he Skypes Ashley. And she's like, you know, what's up, Dad? And he like, hey, you know, I'm about to come back to the United States. And she's like, oh, okay, you know, where you going to stay? As long as you ain't staying with me, I just moved into my own little place, and I don't want you staying with me. And, you know, so he was like, no, I'm going to be staying with Chris and everything. I'm not going to come and stay with you. So she was like, all right. He was like, you know, I'm bringing back my, you know, my girlfriend. And she was like, who is she? Some phantom? You're always talking about her, but I've never seen her. Who is she? What is she about? I mean, when can I ever meet her? And he was like, well, you know what? She's here. She said, okay, well, put her on there then. Let me see her. So he's like, oh, okay, well, let me go and get her. So, you know, basically he goes and get Annie. What I noticed was before he made the phone call, he took his wedding ring off. Because you know what? Basically his life is a whole entire lie. It's a lie. So he takes his wedding ring off, and when Annie comes out, you know, because of his, you know, excitement and everything, he forgets to tell Annie to take hers off. See, all of this isn't scripted. He didn't get a chance to script none of this. So, you know, basically, Annie comes to, you know, to the Skype room, and she's sitting there, and the daughter's like, what? Oh, you are real. Hey, what's up, boo? She was like, hi. He took and grabbed that hand, broke her wrist, fractured all of her fingers. She was like, you know, they sitting on there and they going back and forth, you know what I'm saying? Static is going on the Skype thing because he don't want her to show the hand, and because he going to tell his daughter, Ashley, maybe y'all can go and get your nails done together. Ashley thinking she a nail tech. You understand what I'm saying? She thinking the woman Vietnamese. No, the woman is from Thailand. You know, and I just thought that was just so daggone stereotypical. I just was like, really, for real? David, this is how you going to roll with this? This is how you going to roll, lean with it, rock with it? This woman is not Vietnamese. And as a matter of fact, all Vietnamese don't do nails. I was like, you know what? Are you serious? So, you know, her wrist is hanging off, you know, and everything. Her fingers are all broke and fractured, you know. And so, you know, basically, you know, the daughter and her, you know, they kicking and laughing. She was like, you know, she liked me. She talked to me and everything. And the daughter was all right, like, you know, hey, girlfriend, as ugly as my father is, I thought that, you know, he was lying. He lies about everything else. That's why him and my mother ain't together anymore. So she asked him, why did you break my hand? Excuse me, why'd you snap my wrist? So he was like, you know, I didn't want her to know, you know, that we were engaged and, you know, getting ready to get married because I don't think that she can deal with that. And she was like, so you just gonna lie? And he was like, no, I don't feel like I'm lying to her. No, you're lying. You're lying by omission. You're lying by omitting the whole entire truth. The truth of the matter is that she's not your girlfriend. The truth of the matter is that she is your fiancé, that you've already had a party over there and you're getting ready to have a cotton freaking bachelorette party together, bachelorette joint party together. David, just swear to God, you ain't about nothing. And then you're going to sit up there and talk about how much money you owe Chris. Look like you're going to be the one giving that Thai massage when you get back to the house, buddy, at the poolside. Get your fingers ready. Get lubricate. Do what you got to do, okay? Do what you got to do. I just was like, you know, this thing gets weirder and weirder as the day goes on. But anyway, the next person we see is our girl Nicole with Azon. She says his name a little differently. I can't pick it up. So, you know, they sitting on the beach and everything in Morocco, and they're talking about, you know, Azon's situation. He says that he was working a job, and he ended up getting fired. He said he's worked all his life. Bitch, no, you haven't. But anyway, you know, he says that he's been working all his life, and when he started dating Nicole wanted him to be a kept man. He says that he got fired because she was calling him all day. And, you know, and so as a result of her calling him all day, he gets fired. Now, here she works in the bistro, allegedly, supposedly. She don't have enough money to even afford the K1 visa. She has to get someone to sponsor you over. But yet, because he loses his job and he can't pay rent to his mother, he calls her on the phone and tells her about his financial woes. And she sends him over $1,600 US. $1,600. The first time she sent 8. The next time she sent 3. And then she sent another $500. That's $1,600. She said, you know what? It's normal in America for women to pay for men. No, it's not. Why would you tell him some lie like that? It is not normal for a woman in the United States of America to take care of a man. I'm not saying it don't happen. I'm saying it ain't normal. It's not the regular. How dare you demean American women because of your desperation? All of us are not as desperate as you and Marley and Darcy. We're not desperate like that. We're not going to pay for a man. Nicole. Azon is a kept man. He's being kept by her. We look over and we see May in the background behind them. Now, how you going to keep your eye on that wild child and she's behind you and she eating sand? Azon says, you know what, I found out that it's hard for me to be a daddy. You're never going to be a daddy to May. That ain't happening, Captain. That's not going to happen. But anyway, she says basically she don't want him to work. The producers asks her, you know, whether or not she really basically want him to work. And she like, he could get a job, but that ain't really what I want. I want him to come over here, take care of baby May, run up and down, be the father, you know, to her, because basically I'm not mature enough to be a mother. She talks about how hard it is for her to work and to take care of baby May. Girl, bye. Your whole entire family is supporting you with May. You probably ain't even paid one day of daycare in your cotton freaking life. And you're probably, more than likely, probably on the system. Girl, bye. All of us paying for May. You ain't making enough money, boo. You mean to tell me that you want us to believe that you're not getting any subsidy? You want us to believe that you doing this all by yourself, that you got your grown woman drawers on? Girl, stop playing. You are disgusting, Nicole. You never cease to amaze me. You never cease to do the dumb thing. You never cease to be an idiot. I said it. You never cease to act like something is wrong with you. Never. No wonder he decided that he was going to forgive you for cheating. Because $1,600 just don't fall out the sky. And you know what? That money is multiplying, dividing, subtracting, and some more stuff over there in Morocco. So no wonder he decided that I'm going to go ahead on and let bygones be bygones. At this point, he really probably don't care who you go to bed with. Because I heard through the grapevine that you cheated again anyway. And isn't he getting a check? $1,000 check per episode? Like all the excuse me, like all the other cast members? Ain't he getting $1,000? Now I know it ain't a lot, but that's enough to pay his mother's rent. Next thing we see is dumb Evelyn. She's at a tuxedo shop with David. She has planned out this Cinderella fairy tale wedding. All she cared about is the aesthetics. David is tired of arguing with her, and she's tired of arguing with him. But the arguments ain't gonna stop, because y'all not compatible. I'm sorry, looks ain't gonna always do it. So, you know, he's like, I don't want to wear a tuxedo. Why does it have to be black? Why can't it be blue? She's like, look, I'm not gonna argue with this. The saleswoman is uncomfortable because they arguing about a tuxedo. He says, you know what, I'm going to go ahead on the compromise on this. So he goes in the dressing room. He comes out. He got it on. He look a hot mess. It doesn't fit him good. I know they got to tailor it to him, but it just don't look good. Elizabeth, you're not even paying for the wedding. Your family paying for the wedding. You're not getting that many Instagram hits. I ain't never heard of you. I ain't never heard a song. Never heard you strum a beat, boo. Never heard you strum a beat. Next, we get back to Lewis and Molly. She decides that she's going to take him to the beach, or at least our version of the beach. He's ecstatic, gets the picnic basket, and they go out. They pull up to it, and it's a lake with some sand. I said, God dang. She says, it's the best and the closest we got. You mean to tell me y'all couldn't fly down to Miami? I'm just saying, you could have even went to Orlando. Come on, Molly. But anyway, she wants to have this wonderful picnic, you know, brunch or lunch or whatever. You know, she tells him, let's do a cheers. He drinking before he even connect the glass with her. He ain't got no class. He don't have no class. Like, he's a dust buster. Like, where did she get him from? He says, this is nice. The park is nice. You know, it's not anything like our beaches. Yeah, because it's a lake. It's not a beach. It's a lake with some sand. The water looked like it was sewer water. Looked like the algae was out there cabbage patching, beatboxing, singing hip-hop songs. That's how nasty the water looked. She says that she wanted to share that with other people, but ain't nobody want to sit down with her and have no picnic lunch. I wonder why. I wonder what your reputation is around town. Anyway, you know, he decides that this is a perfect opportunity for him to propose. He don't care what Olivia said. He said he ain't waiting. He proposes to her and she cries. She's so excited and she's ecstatic. I never even heard her say yeah, but I'm sure she did. I'm sure she did. She says it's time to plan a wedding. Time to go and look at cheese platters and dresses and flowers and cakes. It's time. The next thing we see is Andrei and that daggone Elizabeth again. And they're sitting up at a restaurant. She's ecstatic about him coming back, but she has her apprehensions. She's torn her family down so much he don't even really want to meet them. He don't want to be bothered. He's so daggone rude. She's trying to talk to him about the nightclub thing and her going out and not having girls' night. And now she want to take girls' night and define it to, I'm with my family. He was like, that's fine if you with your family, but you ain't going to just be going out to no club, because a club is where people hook up at, and, you know, they trying to meet somebody. She's sitting up there talking about something, you know, he wants me to change and to compromise, and I ain't going to change and compromise but so much. But wasn't you the same one that was sitting there with your sister and your sister-in-laws, and you was bragging about how you was going to be submissive and how you were going to compromise? Aren't you the same chick, Elizabeth, that said that? Aren't you the one who said how submissive and understanding and compassionate, and how if he wanted you to change, that you would change? And now all of a sudden, when it's time to make that change, you don't want to change. Now you want him to change and you want him to understand. Read my lips. You're dumb. You're stupid. You are stupid. Because now all of a sudden, when reality has hit that he actually is going to come, and he's still sitting up there talking that dumb stuff, that if you go somewhere that I'm going to have to be with you, you're not allowed to go anywhere without me, you can't come in the house 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, you're not going to be an American woman, but you're going to be a woman from my culture, and you're going to respect my culture. I'm not even going to argue with you. This man wouldn't even let her get her voice in edgewise. Guess what, Elizabeth? That's what you get. That's what you get for all those days you disrespected your father and disrespected your mother. That's what you get. Have at it. Have at Andrei. I hear y'all already married. How's that going for you? How's that working out with your family? He basically told you you ain't going nowhere. And if you do go anywhere, I'm going to be right there with you. And he also told you I'm not going to even argue with you about it anymore. Where's the rebel? Where's the rebel at, Elizabeth? Where's the girl who doesn't follow the rules? Where's the girl who said that she doesn't like American men? You got your foreign man, so now what? You have at that, boo. You have at that. The next person we see is David and Annie again. They're at a club partying. It is their joint bachelor and bachelorette party. And David is drinking out of his mouth. David done told his daughter reality has set in on how much money he owes Chris and Nikki. Because you know what? He gave the money up for the airline ticket, paying it down, the dowry. So he ain't got no money. And now he all stressed out. He's a mess now. So he drunk. Of course, he's drunk on Chris's dime. And Annie, she's tired of it. So she talks to her girlfriend, Asia, because this man is drunk as a skunk. She's like, you know what? I can't deal with it. I ain't going to be able to deal with it. He's a butthole. You know, this is not the first time it happened. I don't think I need to go to America. Because if I go to America, I'm in trouble. He comes over there and he calls himself talking to her. She said, don't come over here yakking with me. Don't yak. Don't go, God. Don't go, God. Don't go, God. Don't go, God. I said, what is going on? What is a yak? Don't talk back. Yakety yak. She's done with him for the night. She realizes that, you know what? He's not going to change. He's been drunk like this before. He's broke. He don't have anything. He's an old 47-year-old man. He don't have anything. So when I go to America, he's going to act the same way. He's not going to change. I'm afraid you're right, Annie. That's probably why his drunk tail isn't with his wife anymore. That's probably why she split from him, because he had an alcohol problem. He comes over there and he apologizes. And you know what she looks like? An abused woman. An emotionally abused woman. Because at the end of the day, she knows that she is making a mistake with him. But she's so deep in, she don't know how to get out. Oh, she's going to come to the United States. You know, she says that, you know, why are you so drunk? And he's like, I'm drunk for, you know, I'm partying for us. And, you know, she said, you so selfish, you just partying for you. He said, oh, you ain't partying for us? See, he want to throw in her face all the stuff he done did for her. Because he drunk. And a drunken man speaks a sober mind. He stopped 1 inch away from saying what he really wanted to say to him. And that's because Asia was sitting there like... The next thing we see is Nicole and Arzon. They're at the market because he's stressed out because she won't eat healthy. Arzon, give it up. That girl's going to eat chicken nuggets and french fries for the rest of her life. He takes her to the market. She says, are those green beans or green peas? I said, God dang, you mean to tell me this girl don't know the difference between a green bee and a green pea? She's supposed to be making dinner at the auntie's house. Because Arzon said, you know, the aunt want to see whether or not you can feed him and take care of him. She ain't got to feed you and take care of you. She's sending you $1,600. Feed and take care of yourself. Ain't that what the money for? Then they go to another part of the market and they got live chickens. Nicole looking around like, where's the chicken? I don't smell no chicken. They go up in there and them joints up in there. Pick one. Pick a chicken. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a chicken by its toe. If it holler, let it go. Itty, mitty, miny, mo. They killed the chicken right there in front of her. Took the skin off of it. He said, all you got to do is pick out the chicken. 5 minutes later, it's ready. He said, you want the whole, how you want it? She said, God dang, the blood's still warm up in the thing. Just tell him to chop it up in little bite-sized pieces so I can bread it and take it to your auntie's house and we just go ahead and cook it from there. I said, God dang. I'm a city girl and I don't want to see no dead chicken either. Next thing we see is Josh and Ika. They at the house and she's getting up in the morning and everything. You know, she was like, it was good sleeping in my man's bed, being in the United States. I feel good about it. He said, you know, he apologizes to her, you know, for how Joe acted. She said, you know, Joe and I got some things in common. We both are outspoken, but the thing about him is he's rude and I'm not. No, you rude. No, you rude. The only thing Josh is worried about is having a supermodel, a hot woman on his arm, because he's such a loser and his self-esteem is so low. He got to live vicariously through somebody else's beauty, through somebody else's charm. So she's sitting up there, you know, at the thing, and she puts these fake contact lenses in. She said because all the women in the Philippines have the same brown eyes, they put those in because, you know, it makes them, you know, set apart. Well, guess what? After a while, everybody gonna have the same blue contact lenses. But anyway, I digress. He told her to take it out because you're absolutely beautiful. He wants her to be a model. He wants her to just be this arm candy because he, you know what I'm saying? He wants people to look at him and judge him off of what he got. Don't nobody care. It's beautiful women all around the country. It's beautiful women right here. I'm a beautiful woman. But I'd be daggone if I'm going to be walking around being somebody caught in freaking arm candy. And guess what? Ika ain't going to do it for long either. They go to the grocery store and she's astonished by all the fruit and vegetables she saw. She saw the eggplant. She was like, oh my God, that's so big. She saw the red onion. She couldn't believe it was a red onion. She said, you know, you're just so big, you can put them right here. Girl, bye. Bye, girl. She said, everything in the Philippines is real small. She said the onions is about this big. God dang. Thank God for America. Thank God for the U.S. of A. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. But she tells him that she's going to have to start wearing flip-flops to the grocery store because she ain't got time to be having them green suede heels on. Yeah, because it didn't match nothing. Flip-flops would have did you a whole lot better, boo. Would have did you a whole lot better. But the next thing we see is Evelyn and David. You know, they had the, you know, the cake testing. David feels like, you know, he's had to compromise on everything. Evelyn basically says, you know what, since I don't care about the cake, I'm going to let him take the lead on it just to make him think he, you know, he doing something. They take the cake and all of that. The lady tells them that the cake is $5 per person or $5 per slice per person. And that means that the cake is going to be $750 and they almost die. And I'm sitting up here thinking, you got a cake that's $750 and it's going to feed 150 people and you complaining? You complaining? Yeah, that's a little rural hick town. Because, honey, let me tell you, you get a cake up here that's going to feed 150 per people, you're going to pay about $10 a slice. 10, 11, 12, boo. Come on now, birthday cake can run you up like that. But anyway, they decide they can't afford it. So Evelyn's compromise was that we're going to just get a little small cake that's going to feed 15 people the bridal party, and the rest of them can get a cake from the nearest Costco's or BJ's. I said, God dang. Anything that he cares about, she don't. And you know what? David recognizes her immaturity. He recognizes she's just dumb. Next thing we see is Arzon and Nicole. They at the house and they getting ready to do a Larry Leach on stuff. For this is with a sheep. The aunt comes out and got a sheep head sitting up on the table. That joint is fried, dyed, and laid to the side. And Nicole is about to just vomit up everything. And you know what I'm telling you now? It made me feel sick on my stomach too, because I'm going to tell you right now, boo, I would have had to do a Larry the Leech on, because I wouldn't have been able to eat that for all the tea in China, all the gold in the mint. I couldn't have did it. I couldn't even have tasted it, and then they gonna tell her to eat the brain. She tried to give the stuff to excuse me, Baby May. Baby May took off running in her little winter pajamas. Baby May was gone. I said, you doing the right thing, Baby May. You run, girl. Take off. Run, Joe. Run, Joe. Run, Joe. The policeman's at the door. Run, Joe. Run, Joe. Run, Joe. Run, Joe. Okay. She sits there and try to eat it, and she just gags. Oh, God. I couldn't have ate that either. The aunt felt disrespected. She was like, look, just because you won't eat the sheep, my whole kitchen shut down. Arzon made a shady ass comment and said, you know what, this is the first time you ever said you wasn't hungry. Nicole ain't care. She ate a couple of pieces of it and she just was gagging, and I was gagging with her. I was like, I couldn't have done it. But I'm thinking, where's all them vegetables and that chicken that y'all got from the market? But the aunt said, look, the kitchen cut down. Shut down. Oh, God. The aunt said, you know what? You can come up in my house and want to sleep with him, but you can't eat my sheep head. The brains and everything was there. Oh, God. Next, we back with Josh and Ika, and Josh is sitting up there, and he got her going to a modeling agency. I said, what the foolishness. They go to the modeling agency. This is not something she wants to do, but this is something he wants to do for his self-esteem, for his ego. So she tells him that basically, you know, this is for you. If they say, yes, it's for you. So she goes back there. There's 2 old women back there and 2 little young girls. I said to her, what? What they judge it? They give her a script. The guy that come out and give her a script, he got his eye like going over here like this. You know what I'm saying? The joint, you know. He got this little bow tie on. He's sitting up there looking like Pee Wee Herman in his finer days. I said, what kind of Josh? So anyway, she goes back there. She tries to read off the script. She pats herself on the butt because she's talking about, you know, selling some jeans. The ladies don't like her. The old lady on the sofa said, look, you already sexy. You don't need to be patting yourself on your hips. Plus, you ain't got none. So go ahead on and do it over. The dog is sitting on the sofa crying and everything. Then the lady's like, okay, we're going to take it again. And 1 and 2. Hi. If you don't like your lipstick or whatever, you'll look back. They cut 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 and 1. I said, I would have walked out. I'd have took that script, threw it on the ground and said, I'm done. At the end of the day, they decide that they want to work with her. They want to use her ethnicity. The lady told her that she was Vietnamese. She said, I ain't Vietnamese. I'm from the Philippines. She said, don't you speak Togo? She said, what? Sometimes as Americans, we can be so ignorant when it relates to other people's races. We need to be ashamed of ourselves. But anyway, last but not least, our girl Molly. All right, man, let me make sure I ain't skip nothing. Okay. Our girl Molly, earlier during the episode, ended up going out to dinner with Olivia. She decided that, you know, to tell the girls that Louise, had officially proposed to her. So after she tells the girl, you know, that he officially proposes, she says, you know, little baby Kinsley, you know what I'm saying, the little chalk monster, she ain't understand it. Oh no, she understand. She understood. I'm trying not to laugh because I know I'm going to go into a coughing fit. Olivia's sitting at the table and everything, and she's trying to get along with them. Molly asks her, will she help her with the wedding plans? And she says, yes, I'll help. It's a compromise. Then they start sitting at the table, you know, trying to feed each other some macaroni and cheese, because he got macaroni and cheese on the plate, and Molly wants some. They start doing little romantic gestures and stuff like that, and of course, you know, Olivia says she doesn't like it. And so Louise decides that he's going to keep on doing it because he knows he's a thorn in Olivia's side. So Molly feeds into it. She plays into it because she don't see the ass that this man really is. So they get to talking about love and all of that kind of stuff. And she said, you know what, y'all basically need to get a room. He said, you don't like kissing? She said, kissing is one thing, but y'all was all and all of that. And he says, oh, okay, you need a boyfriend. Molly said, hold up. You don't say that to my daughter. He said, well, I mean, she's 17, she almost 18, she almost grown. She said, you don't say that to my daughter. Don't talk to her about that. Although you're not going to be a father, we haven't decided what kind of role you're going to play in her life. So I don't want you saying anything like that to my daughter. Strike one. Then we get to the house. Louis is downstairs playing pool with Jess, the brother. He has a relationship with Jess where he could say anything to him. Jess, you're an uncle. So, Olivia, in her attempt to try to get to know Louis, try to give him a little break, comes down there with her little girlfriend, Dominique. It's okay, let's play pool. So they down there playing pool and everything, and they kicking it. And Uncle Jess asks her, you know, what you doing tonight? She said, well, I would tell you if you ain't gonna snitch. So he goes in and talk about how he had to snitch on her because Matthew, the boyfriend, was spending too much time upstairs in Olivia's room. He said he let her get away with a lot of stuff, but he couldn't let her get away with that. Understandable, Uncle Jess. Molly had already said earlier that Olivia was her friend and her daughter. Strike two. So they downstairs and they talking about relationships. And Louis comes out of his trick bag and says, I ain't gonna tell on you. You 17, you 18 years old, you can do what you want to do. Who is Matthew? She said, you know, he just a boyfriend or whatever, you know, ain't nothing really to it. He says, well, you know what? Is he somebody you like, somebody you love, you want to marry him? She says, no, I'm only 17. It's not that serious. And then he comes out his mouth And he says, is he somebody you just want to fuck? At this point, Olivia's head snaps off. She said, what? You don't talk to me like that. He said, I mean, you know, hey, you 17, you 18. You grown. And Uncle just stands there and doesn't say anything to this man. To this dirty, stank bastard. Strike 3. Lewis would have been back on the fastest thing going to the DR. He would have went back to the DR so fast that every curl in his head would have been stripped out. The conversation that he has had with Molly's daughter has been inappropriate. I have been saying out here week after week after week that Molly girls were in danger. And for me, this was the confirmation that I needed. See, he doesn't have a problem with crossing the line. Olivia and her girlfriend go upstairs to tell her mother, we were just having a conversation with Lewis in front of sorry ass Uncle Jess. And he made an inappropriate comment to me and used the F word when talking about me and Matthew. Molly got an awakening, but she still married him, allegedly on July 20th of 2017. Even though this man has said these inappropriate things to her daughter, she's still marrying him. She checks him and tells him, my daughter is 17 and you're not her father, and there's certain things that you can and you cannot say to my daughter. Molly, because this is being pre-taped, I ain't gonna ride on you. But I was absolutely disgusted with what I saw from both you and your brother. See, you're not protecting your daughter. You let this man sit up here and say that to your daughter. And even after you corrected him and told him that it was inappropriate and he's not to talk to your daughter about it, he says she is 17 and she can do what she wants with her body. Or is it what you want to do with her body? Like Molly said, I don't know how y'all play the game over in the DR, but over here, it ain't no right for you to touch your stepdaughter. It ain't no right for you to have inappropriate conversations with your stepdaughter. I was shocked and appalled. Well, Leo, no, not shocked. It was confirmed. You ain't no good for those girls. You need to be watched. And Uncle Jess, as an uncle, you have a duty to protect them. You live in the house. You're the little butler. You need to check this. I'm hoping that Olivia is out of the house. And I'm hoping that Kinsley keeps her a whole bunch of boxes of chalk because she's going to need them. This man has absolutely crossed the line. And Molly, I don't know what would make you marry him. It has to be just sheer, pure desperation. But there's no way in the world I will have a man like that in my house, who talks to my daughter like some nigga on the street. Tomorrow we gonna come out here and we gonna read these mofos for filth. For filth. Y'all get ready, because with me it's gonna be a bumpy ride. 9 o'clock sharp Eastern Standard Time. Auntie will make sure she gets sleep tonight, plenty of rest, fluids, and medicine, so that we can come out here and read the hell out these mofos, because they deserve it. Until then, please subscribe if you haven't already done so. I don't know what you're waiting for. You know you love my channel. See you all tomorrow.